All right, welcome to Behind the Scenes. In studio today, we have Jen from Goodness Grows. Welcome to the studio. Thank you for coming down here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So for our viewers, why don't you give a little bit of history of where you came from, how this operation came to be?
Okay, Goodness Grows operates on the grounds of Common Ground Church Community in North Lima. And Common Ground had bought the property from Mellinger's Nursery and Garden Center many years ago in 2003. And Goodness Grows started in 2007 as a garden cooperative, food insecurity kind of a nonprofit. And then by 2010, we had sort of morphed into working with students and adults with disabilities, which is what we really focus on now, along with the gardening.
What about you personally? How did you get involved? Where's your origin story?
I was a preschool teacher in Struthers. And when my preschool closed, I was hired by the church to be the program director at Common Ground. And then I ended up working with the youth and the kids and volunteering a lot with Goodness Grows, and my family volunteered with Goodness Grows. And so through the years, I became a board member at Goodness Grows and then was hired to do all sorts of things. So I'm an employee and a board member and have been there for many years.
Beautiful. So let's talk about the programs that happen over there. What kind of stuff do you guys get into?
We have 7 clients that are there between 2 days a week to 5 days a week from 9 to 2. And they're involved in everything on the property. We set up for anything that's happening at the church. We run different programs like a community-supported agriculture program where our clients are involved in planning what we're going to plant in the spring, planting it, researching it, sometimes shopping for it, taking care of it all spring and summer, and then starting the harvest in June when our CSA program starts, which is you buy a share and then you get to come once a week or every other week and pick up your share. So they get a giant basket full of all sorts of goodies that we've grown, or we also use some of our local farmers to get things that we might not have, like corn. We go to McMaster's, or we go apple picking at Huffman Fruit Farm every year for our CSA. And then our clients also make jam. We make what's called jungle jam, which is a hot pepper jam with fruit.
Oh, that sounds good.
I should have brought you some. Oh. It's really good. And they also make juicy jam, so that's for the people that don't like hot peppers. And we have a variety of flavors, and they change seasonally. We grow some of the ingredients for the jams, and we also purchase as many locally as possible. We often get peppers from Aunt Julie's market, or from, again, Huffman's. We get peaches and all sorts of things. So we try to do as much local as possible. And our clients also make catnip toys. We grow the catnip, we grow other herbs, but they use the catnip to stuff into these hand-sewn catnip toys that we sell. We sell our jams and our catnip toys from the property, or we are also at Reach for the Stars in Salem, which is a wonderful program that's operated by the Educational Service Center with a classroom of special needs adults that are in their transition program. So our stuff is there a lot, along with a lot of other vendors. We also have our stuff carried at the Youngstown Flea. Our board president, Kitty Cromer, goes there all summer and sells from the Youngstown Flea. We go to different area craft shows and events. We'll be at the Witch Walk in Columbiana coming up on the 7th, I think it is. So we get our stuff out there because all of the money that we raise through jam sales and catnip sales and anything else, it goes right back into our program, and it pays our clients for all the work that they do, raising the vegetables, cleaning the church, taking care of the church property, everything. We are certified by the state of Ohio as a vocational habilitation site. So when our clients are there, we do get paid by the state to run a program that teaches them job skills, and the end result would be for some of them to move on from Goodness Grows and get a job out in the community, while others might just stay with us for as long as they want to keep doing the tasks that we do. But to pay them, we have to bring in money separately. We cannot use the state funds. The state funds can buy food for them to cook. It could buy jam supplies for them to make the jam, but it cannot pay their paychecks. So we're responsible for having fundraisers and selling things to bring in the money for them, and they are 100% worth it because they do so much work. They also help with area classrooms. We have 3 different classrooms that are coming in this fall from Crestview. We have their high school disability class and their middle school one. And then we also have the Latonia High School special needs class. And they come in the fall and in the spring, so they learn all about harvesting and then sort of putting the gardens to bed for the winter. And they learn about, in the spring, planting, weeding. We do lots of weeding, watering, and all of the different lessons. That way they also sometimes get to help in the kitchen with kitchen projects like jam making or other things. So our folks stay really busy.
Heck yeah. I love this because it allows people to participate in this way, learn real life skills. I love that. Now my brain got hung up on the catnip part. Like I never really got curious as to where catnip comes from. So is it a whole plant that you package up, or do you have to do something to it to make it catnippy?
It's a whole plant. It's catnip. You could grow it in your own garden.
No kidding.
I've tried it at home, but we have a really nice neighbor cat named Binks who then would come over and unplant our catnip. And then we'd plant it, and then Binks would unplant it. So I don't grow it at home anymore, but Goodness Grows has had a lot of luck. We must not have as many cats, or the cats don't like it.
There's a herd of cats roaming the plantation.
Yes. So, yeah, it's just a beautiful herb, and they pick it and they dry it. It has to be dried because if you stuffed a catnip toy with it not dried, it would get yucky.
Yeah.
So once it's dried, it goes right into a little fish or a little mouse that they put polyfill stuffing in, and a little bit of crinkly plastic to make a noise, and the catnip. And then they hand sew the hole shut, and then they package it and put a special sticker on it, and it's ready to go for $4.
Wow. And where do you purchase this stuff from? Do you guys have a shop that the public, do you send it out and distribute it?
They can come right to the church.
Okay.
We are there from, Miss Rachel gets there early. She's our vocational habilitation specialist. She's usually there by 8:30 Monday to Friday, and our clients are there 9 to 2. And I'm there a lot.
All right.
on not a specific schedule. And another board member, Jill, also works for the church. So Jill's there a lot too. So it just depends. But again, it's at Reach for the Stars in Salem as well, and at Lux Designs in Columbiana. Our jam is there. I don't believe any of our catnip toys are. And you can always contact us through our website or the phone, and we're always happy to arrange a pickup or a drop-off.
Nice. Delivery included.
Yes.
All right, let's watch our video here, and feel free to tell us what we're seeing.
Okay, that's our great room. Where you enter, you can see some stuff going on the bulletin board. We have all sorts of things coming up. You can see our door also has caution tape across it because our main door, that was also Mellinger's main door, broke. So we got 30 years out of it, which is good. But hopefully it'll be fixed soon. Oh, yeah, you can see we even have a little drop-off site for eyeglasses for the Lions. If you have eyeglasses you'd like to get rid of, bring it to Common Ground, and our elder Frank will take it to the Lions Club. You can see we have a fall festival coming up on November 4th. That's what that little stand-up sign is. Anybody's welcome to come and join us at the church from 12 to 4 on November 4th. You can see some of what Goodness Grows does. You can see what the churches there do. Heroes and Halos from Columbiana will be there with their angel tree with information about their programs. And we'll have games and food.
This episode was brought to you by Youngstown Computer, the Valley's technology company. We appreciate the loyalty and all you have shown us over the years, and it's our promise to serve all the technology needs of the Valley. Call 330-259-7278. We have both home and business services available. Everything from repair, installations, and new equipment. You can improve your Wi-Fi and have technology serve you better. Call 330-259-7278. Or you can schedule your appointment right now on youngstowncomputer.com and look for the red Book Now button.
There's our Goodness Grows table. All those antlers and rocks have been found on our property. Our clients love to go hunting for different things in the woods because we own a huge swath of woods there in North Lima that we use for walks, and they go back to the creek and find all sorts of goodies. That table is usually full of our jam since we sell jam from there, but we're in the middle of a lot of shows right now, so Rachel has all the jam pulled. That's another nonprofit that is associated with the church. That is Rock Kids Uganda. And they work with a school in Masaka, Uganda, called Divine Junior School. They get sponsors for the kids to make sure that those students can stay in school and get all the help that they need. They just had a mission trip this summer to Uganda. Oh, nice. That's where I usually am. If you come in, you can usually find me sitting there. Sometimes Rachel's there. Sometimes Jill's there. And that's our sanctuary where we gather on Sunday mornings. Everybody's always welcome to come check it out at 11 a.m. You'll see a cross in a minute that was made years ago from trees that grew on the property. We also have some wooden bowls that we use in the sanctuary that were made from trees on our property.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat to be able to use the things that were grown right there. Yeah. It's kind of like continuing Mellinger's legacy on. We still get mail for the Mellinger's Garden Company. People still wish that they can order plants and seeds from Mellinger's.
Might want to do it.
Fill the need.
Yep.
That's our kitchen. There's some of our crew working back there. They had baked cookies that day and made a whole bunch of jam. So in the afternoon, they were cleaning it up. And they are all good workers. You can see the jam back there on the one cart, and jam that's already labeled right there. That's Rachel, our vocational habilitation specialist that works with the clients every day. You can't even tell that she was nervous about being on camera. We have Keegan and Sean and Dustin and Bradley were there that day. We have 3 other clients that were either not scheduled that day or were absent. You could see Bradley clapping there, and now he's telling Dustin where to put the dustpan. Bradley is one of our very most enthusiastic workers. Whatever we're doing, he says he loves it. Tomorrow will be the day when the people come to pick up their community-supported agriculture share. So Bradley will today, before he goes home, he will tell everybody, Happy CSA Eve. And then tomorrow he'll greet you with a Happy CSA Day because he loves harvesting and preparing everything for the customers.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. They've grown so many different crops this year. It's one of our big pantries with all of our supplies. Takes a lot of supplies to make all that jam. And with the cost of things going up this year, it's been difficult. Our crew knows all about what to do, too. They'll go in before Rachel, and they'll grab all of the ingredients and the tools. You can see a white and silver thing there. That's for grabbing the jars out, and they just lay everything out, and they're ready to go. That's the back hallway leading to the maintenance room, which is sort of Goodness Grow's base. And all along the wall there are their maps for the gardens, what they've been growing all year.
Well-oiled machine.
It
Love
is.
it.
It is. It looks messy, but they know where everything is. That box was made by Rachel's fiancé, Mike, and it is a butterfly habitat. They find caterpillars out on the property, and they collect milkweed, and they put it in there, and the caterpillars will spin their chrysalises and then hatch, and then we release them, which is always a lot of fun. The schools love being there on a day that we release butterflies. And then our crew have found other critters that they take care of. We've got some fish, we've got some frogs, we've got some toads. They're always telling me the difference between frogs and toads, and I can never remember which is which. That's our greenhouse. At this time of the year, there's not much going on in there, but they do have some herbs drying. That's an NFT system there for growing lettuce in water. We just got our greenhouse heated this year, so this coming winter we'll be able to get things started earlier, which will make a big difference. And sometimes it's neater than others in there. Sometimes that's their project for the day, is going in and cleaning up the warehouse or the greenhouse. Those really old-looking raised beds to the left were there from Mellinger's. But we've got other raised beds that are clients and Rachel, and often Mike, who made the butterfly habitat, he will come in and help them make new raised beds. So we've got tall raised beds that are good for wheelchairs or people that just need to stand, and then we've got lower raised beds where you can bend over or kneel or sit. And they really enjoy the projects when they get to actually build something. We've had mission groups come out and help build projects like that too. And the Boy Scouts have been out to do planting and building things as well. And that unusual looking structure there is a wet wall that helps to keep the greenhouse at the right temperature and humidity for growing. And then BJ got a shot of the garden area's plans up close. You can see how neat and organized Rachel is, where she labels it. Lower
That's
field,
my
upper
favorite
field.
part. I gravitate towards that kind of organization.
Yes.
I love it.
And that's upstairs in our activity room. If Goodness Grows has a big project, sometimes they'll work up there, but mostly that's used by the church. But Goodness Grows is responsible for cleaning it, so if the floors are swept or anything wiped off, Goodness Grows has done it. There's a lot of stuff that would not be accomplished on the property if it weren't for all of those hardworking clients, and also the classrooms that come out. That's our library. It's still slightly destroyed from VBS. It's not usually filled with trees, but Vacation Bible School necessitates moving a lot of stuff. So there's our Christmas tree forest above our foyer. During the holidays, they're lit up with lights. And this is our green room that we have given to Heroes and Halos as a supply room. They keep all of their stuff for their various events and giveaways there. They've held some picnics and some Christmas dinners and various other things in our building and through our warehouse. Then at the bottom of the stairs, there's a bulletin board showing some of the Goodness Grows tasks and fun things that they've done. You can see a picture of a CSA day there with all those bowls with vegetables in it. That was last year. Now we're in the Sprouts room, which the church uses for Sunday mornings and anytime they need childcare, classes for the littlest church people. And Goodness Grows sanitizes the toys and the tables and everything once a week. And that door leads through to a little bathroom and then to our nursery for the infants. So it's a really big building. We were very lucky to get Mellingers. It led to a huge, wonderful space that fits everybody.
And the property is immense.
And the property, yeah, it's more than 20 acres.
Dang.
That is our front raised bed area. There used to be more greenhouses there when it was Mellingers, but we, over time, have torn them down and turned it into a bit of a yard and raised beds where a variety of things are grown. There's a lot of herbs out there, lettuce, cabbage.
Do you guys do any flavors of hot peppers outside of the jam production?
For the CSA, Rachel has canned some hot peppers over the years and given those to our subscribers. And she has sold fresh peppers to people that have wanted them. But mostly we just use the hot peppers for jam. If you're a CSA subscriber, sometimes you do get them fresh in your share that day. You can see some of the tall raised beds for wheelchairs. Since this is the end of the growing season, things are not looking as lush as they were in July, but it still looks pretty cool. Those are Brussels sprouts there, the tall things. Rachel and Keegan and Bradley took BJ on a walk to see everything while the other guys stayed in the kitchen and finished cleaning up. Sort of a division of labor. We do that a lot. Now they're heading out back.
Look how awesome that looks.
It was a beautiful day for this. Yeah. You can just walk right around the back of the building and follow the path up to the warehouse, or you can go straight out back. That's our butterfly garden up to the right there. Kitty Cromer's class designed it many years ago in the shape of a butterfly and researched what pollinators need, and so it's been planted with a variety of things over the years. A couple years ago, it needed to be redug, so it was redug in the shape of a cross and replanted.
Need social media management or marketing services for your business? We specialize in graphic design, logos and rebranding, commercial video production, podcast production, social media design and advertising campaigns, newsletters, radio advertising, and voiceovers. Call Youngstown Studio Marketing today, 330-259-7278, and choose option 3. Youngstown Studio Marketing, a Youngstown computer company.
There's our playground, complete with the rubber mulch our crew helped spread. And then coming up behind the playground is a variety of different raised beds that they've fenced in. And then there's our back garden area. We have a lot of wildlife in North Lima. They're constantly battling groundhogs.
Yes. Defending against.
Yes.
Those guys are persistent.
Oh, my goodness. They can climb. They climb right up the fences. And it really doesn't matter how high we have made them. They still find a way. Mm-hmm. They can even pry the fence away from the raised bed and get in between it in a tiny wee space that you wouldn't think that they could fit. The big fence around this area really helps. We get fewer critters in this area, but outside the fence, it can be kind of an animal buffet.
Yes.
I think it was broccoli they were after this year. Rachel planted broccoli with the crew. The groundhog ate it. They replanted. The groundhog ate it. And they planted a third time, and the groundhog ate a lot.
Yeah.
She was almost reduced to tears.
Yeah.
That's a lot of our peppers back there. Peppers and tomatoes have been a bumper crop this year. They really took off and grew finally. It was a weird season, and we didn't think the tomatoes were ever going to turn red, but once they started turning, it's been fantastic. Some of the areas look weedier than others because we tried a different approach to agriculture called no-till farming, where you don't use the tiller, the machine that goes and digs up the ground. And it is supposed to be possibly better for the soil, so you cover it over the winter with a tarp to hopefully kill the weeds. We're still experimenting with that. We've got raised beds that are round and rectangular. We try to use a variety of things. We've even used swimming pools. Oh, those are Mexican gherkin cucumbers, I think is what they're showing him. We try to experiment with unusual things that most people haven't had sometimes.
Right.
And so Mexican gherkin cucumbers have been one of those. They're tiny little cucumbers that are very refreshing, that have been quite popular. I'm thinking this was the area where they're storing mushroom logs. That's what was over to the side. We have tried inoculating logs with mushroom spore, and that's in the process of growing. We've also grown mushrooms on toilet paper. Clean toilet paper. Yeah, you boil the toilet paper to sterilize it, and then you put it in a plastic bag and inoculate it with mushroom spore and tie it up, and it grows mushrooms. I think we grew oyster mushrooms. They were really popular. And now they're heading back on a woods walk. We have different paths that Goodness Grows keeps clear. People are allowed to take a walk back there. No hunting. People ask us all the time, but no, we do not allow hunting on the property. But you can just enjoy all the birds and the trees. We've had some naturalists out that go out and identify trees with us, so we have some of the trees marked, and Rachel can identify a lot from all of her experience. Our crew enjoys when there are trees down, because then they get to use the big tools like the chainsaw.
Oh, yeah.
And they chop it up.
Clearing the trails.
That's one of their responsibilities. Somewhere back there, they've even built a bridge over a boggy part, so they really enjoyed that as well. And the benefit of having all this property, we've also used the woods for different projects during our vacation Bible schools or other events. Our youth group in the past has taken walks through the woods and had scavenger hunts. They've had projects where they helped spread mulch on the trails to keep them more open. We've had mission groups from out of state come, and they've done a variety of things, including helping to spread mulch or take care of downed trees. Jeff Harvey from Wild Birds Unlimited used to come out and do bird walks with us in the woods before Wild Birds closed. So he would take you out there and identify all the birds that you heard by sound and some that you saw by sight. Those were definitely a highlight of the year.
Do you have any ponds or streams on the property?
There is a stream back further. Mm-hmm. It always makes a nice little trip. They like to get out there and splash around in the water. They've collected crayfish and tadpoles. They've also had to clean up some branches and trees that have fallen into the water and caused sort of a unexpected dam. Oh, we get a demonstration. I think they're trying to break that particular tree. This is coming back up out of the woods. Particular little cleared glade that I really like. It's just so peaceful back there. That's our fire pit. Mission groups and volunteers have helped build all the benches, a classroom, and our Goodness Grows folks have just been up there cleaning it up and weeding it. There's a covered wood area to keep the wood dry that a volunteer built one time. So our different church groups have used that. We've used it for Vacation Bible School. Goodness Grows has used it. We'd like it to get more use, but it has had some good times up there. We've had sing-alongs up there and picnics. Now they're heading down the path to the warehouse, which is above the church. It was recently refinished because it was old and a mess. But for last October, we started having our big October giveaway out in the warehouse. So this is what it's looking like right now as we prepare for this October's giveaway. On October 21st, from 9:30 to 1, the community is welcome to come out, and they will get to look through the warehouse. It'll be totally set up by that point, and they can take anything that they need. There's no requirement for income, no proof of residency. If you see a kid's coat and your kid isn't with you, you're still allowed to take the kid's coat. Whatever you need, we're there to help. We collect all year. Community members bring in furniture and tools and clothing and books and anything that's clean and usable in their house that they want to get rid of, and we pass it on to people that can use it. So we've been busy collecting and sorting. That's part of the Goodness Grows side of the warehouse with all their tools that they use for all the gardening. We've got a variety of tractors and lawn equipment and tillers and chainsaws. And Rachel's fiance, Mike, is also our handyman, and he will come in and he will do some of the repairs and maintenance on all of those items, and our crew loves to help with that. So they've learned about repairing all the different tractors and tools. They've learned about maintenance, how to change the oil and add oil to the chainsaw bar and a variety of things. It's amazing all the different little skills that they learn that I would have no clue about. That's down in between the warehouse and the back of the church. We've recently started having outdoor worship services down there, which works out really well. It kind of hides the noise from the road.
I love the facility and all of the opportunities that it presents. You mentioned, you guys have figured creative ways to utilize pretty much every inch of that place.
We're trying.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about involvement. And if you have someone you want to get involved, whether it's volunteering or if you have someone that wants to place a child or an adult in the services, how would they get involved and how would they...
If you want to volunteer, give us a call. We love volunteers. There's always something to do. Volunteers are really appreciated to weed during the weeding season. They can work right alongside with our crew on whatever we're doing. Or if a volunteer has a particular skill that they would like to share with us, we are open to that. If they want to teach us about their favorite hobby, if they want to come out and help build picnic tables or benches, we've had volunteers that do that. So any kind of volunteering, we are open to it. If you want to place a young adult in the program, you need to give us a call and we can set up a tour and a meeting. Our board president, Kitty Cromer, works for the Columbiana County Educational Service Center, so she handles a lot of that since she knows all of the ins and outs, and Rachel's responsible too for giving the tours and telling the guardians and parents and possible clients what goes on at Goodness Grows and what you can expect. We're not a great fit for some people. Some people aren't as interested in being outside as much as we are and standing and hiking and doing the different things. But for a lot of people, we are a great fit. There's plenty of young adults with all sorts of abilities that could shine learning the different job skills and tasks that we do. We're always welcoming to people walking in or calling or sending us an email, checking out our website.
All right. Why don't you give everybody your contact information if they want to learn more about you, where they check you out?
You just go on to the World Wide Web and look up Goodness Grows for All. It's the numeral 4, ALL, Goodness Grows for all one word. And we have a website that we try to keep updated. We also are on Facebook all the time, again at Goodness Grows for All. We're pretty easy to find, and I encourage you to look it up. We also have a fundraiser that's coming up that's a big event for us in October. That would be October 28th. We're partnering with Ill Will Brewing in Columbiana. A special Goodness Grows batch of beer will be ready to be tapped. That will be our big kickoff fundraiser night. We will all gather there. We'll have a 50-50. We will be having some of our clients as guest bartenders. We'll have a lottery tree, and we'll tap our special, not named yet, batch of beer. And I can't tell you the flavor yet either, but it's based on one of our jams. So we got that whole process started. It takes several weeks to actually brew a batch of beer, but it's on its way. Our jam will be out there for sampling and for buying. We will have a table so that you can learn more about Goodness Grows. So it'll be hopefully a big event. And it's such a family-friendly place that there are fire pits outside. There's games inside and outside for kids. So there's lots going on, and we would love if you came and checked it out.
All right. Jen, thanks for coming. I appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you so much. It was great. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be.
All right.